My concept of what the Straw Hat Crew's Seraphim could be like. S-Monkey, derived from Straw Hat Luffy. Mochi Mochi no Mi, can become and control Mochi. Unpredictable, nigh invulnerable. Khan, always hungry. S-Cat, derived from Cat Burglar Nami. Jiki Jiki no Mi, can create magnetic forces and use them to aid her navigation skills. Can generate powerful electric blasts. Khan, short fuse and explosive temper. S-Tiger, derived from pirate hunter Roronoa Zoro. Hana Hana no Mi, able to sprout replicas of his own limbs. Power rivaling S-Chameleon. Most swordsmen in the world. Khan, directionally challenged. S-Chameleon, derived from warrior god Usopp. Buki Buki no Mi, a Swiss army man who can adapt his body into any weapon imaginable. Leader and strongest member of the squad. Unparalleled strategic mind, greatest sniper in the world. Khan, NA. S-Ram, derived from Blackleg Sanji. Suki no Mi, can become completely invisible. Steps so quietly as to make no sound. Efficient chef. Khan, often vanishes without notice. S-Crane, derived from Devil Child Nico Robin. Hana Hana no Mi, able to sprout replicas of her own limbs. Can generate clones of herself. Practically an army unto herself. Khan only talks to herself. S-Bull, derived from Iron Man Frankie. No Mi no Mi no Mi. His brain is able to expand infinitely. Brilliant engineer. His antenna has access to punk records. Khan, this week's S-Bull is still grumpy. S-Horse, derived from Soul King Brook. Yomi Yomi no Mi. Devil fruit potential is unknown. Pro, brilliant musician. Khan only plays somber music. Can't use devil fruit powers yet. S-Tanuki, derived from the Straw Hat's pet raccoon. Hito Hito no Mi. Strong and durable. Growing bigger daily. Frightening. Khan, unmanageable. S-Cat is an unfortunate name. Just saw this boxer with a Whitebeard tattoo. He also has Ace on his arm. Imagine him fighting a boxer with this tattoo. Some nerd is in charge of the cocktail menu. Grand Line, a timeless old-fashioned with extra depth and an adventurous twist. Bourbon, bamboo, rosehip, and bitters. Devil Fruit, a potent paloma for the infernal era. Mezcal, grapefruit, lemon, rosehip, piment, and fire bitters. The Magician, smooth, velvety, and mysterious. See the future with every sip. LeBlanc Kachaka, coconut milk, lime, and taro. New World, a margarita for those who dare to dream and drink defiantly. Tequila, Averna, agave, lime, tamarind, and molasses. Whiskey Peak, a cool breeze on your New York Bay. Bourbon, cognac, Brancamente, and cocoa bitters. Lost on Skypiea, a daiquiri worth taking a detour for. Rum, aloe, simple syrup, lime, and mint. Punk Hazard, something smashing to sip on whether the world ends in fire or ice. Rye, honey, lemon, strawberry, and mint. Queen, she reigns from the Andes to Bohemia. Pisco, Becherovka, honey, and lemon. Southbird, how do you think flamingos get so pink? Rum, Campari, coconut milk, and rosehip. Thousand Sunny, an invigorating coude burst. Vodka, orange, ginger, and carrot juice. Went out for dinner with a friend last night and realized a One Piece nerd must be in charge of creating their cocktails. The devil fruit slaps, but now I can't swim. For the record, I think nerd as a compliment, not hating. So, I'm currently the manager at this bar. My friend and I made this menu as a send-off. I'm leaving town in a couple weeks, and we decided to go big with something that we both love and brought us closer together. I'm headed into work now, but when I get there, we will post some pictures of the drinks for y'all to check out. Thanks so much for the kind words and all the interest. I also think nerd is a compliment. Sweet Revenge. Artist, DartPaint18 on Instagram. That is one crazy painting. Someone cooked here. Gear 4th, SpongeMan. There's no way these two are the same character. He's got on Ozempic. Is this the reason for Nami's tattoo shape? I was eating it and it hit me. I knew it was a windmill, but the shape always struck me as weird. It might have been an unpeeled tangerine. Oh poop, look! This guy is the reason why there's a great pirate era. Actual me when someone is saying something controversial in public. Which science-defying scene is funniest to you? Thriller Bark was funny peak of One Piece era. Not So Serious by Neo Uma. I'm sick of this. Can't you take anything seriously? Too serious. Same vibes. The crocodile is wearing clothes and a hat, and he talked. If that surprises you, take a look at us. Toei, are you okay? Is this actually in the game? Of course. You thought you could see me bathing for free? Okay, I'll pay you in treasure then. What? Yes, it's like a hidden mission or DLC or something. He literally just speedran it. It took Luffy 3 months after the time skip, 93 days to become a Yonko. The big consequence of One Piece having entire arcs that happen in a single day or week in-universe is the disconnect between real-world time and canon time. This is especially prevalent in the time skip with arcs like Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, and Egghead. There was a time. We can't open this without a key. These bars are too thick for me to cut through.
What?
Just starting the manga while waiting for the anime to restart and found this moment. Flash forward, and he is cutting through basically mountains of stone post-time skip. Did Kaku know that he ate a giraffe fruit, or he just got the power of the animal he loves by chance? I like being a giraffe. I love giraffes.
What?
Haven't watched this arc in a while, but I believe they did not know. And if I remember correctly, most of Kaku's screen time was legit just him coping. This looks quite familiar. This painting is one of the most famous Japanese artworks, created by the Japanese artist Toyokuni Utagawa, also known as Toyokuni Ichiusai. Unfortunately, this is not just a painting, it is based on a completely true event. The man depicted in the painting is Ishikawa Goemon, who was born in the 16th century and is considered an ideal father by many Japanese fathers. He is remembered as the Robin Hood of Japan, stealing excess wealth from the rich and distributing it among the poor. He attempted to assassinate Toyotomi Hideyoshi, the warlord emperor of Japan's Sengoku era, but failed. Not only did he fail, but he was also captured by the emperor's guards. As punishment for trying to attack the emperor, Goemon was sentenced to death, but his execution was not ordinary. It was horrifying. He was sentenced to be boiled alive in hot oil. The emperor didn't stop at sentencing only Goemon. He also ordered that Goemon's infant son be boiled alive with him. To carry out the execution, both father and son were placed in a large cauldron of boiling oil. As the fire was lit underneath, Goemon lifted his child above his head to protect him from the boiling liquid. He endured the unbearable pain for as long as he could, but eventually he could no longer hold the child up. Both the father and the son died together. I never expected Odin's brutal execution was based on a true story. Odin wouldn't be Odin if it wasn't boiled. I love these jokes in Wano so much. What? That thing rotates? Is that how dinosaurs are? Triceratops is a dinosaur like this. I didn't know. Brachiosnakeus. What? That's how it works? This is how a Brachiosaurus is. I didn't know, damn. Imperial Deep Pride. Steak. In ancient times, this is how pteranodons hunted their prey. Damn, I didn't know that. When it happened with Sasaki vs. Frankie, I thought it was funny. Then it happened with Queen vs. Sanji. I thought that was hilarious. Didn't know King vs. Zoro would continue doing that, which finally made me burst out laughing. They really prepared us for how ridiculous final battle between Kaido and Luffy was gonna be, except this one, it's Kaido that being clueless. What was your reaction to this? These are probably some of my favorite Zone fruits, because they just do the most absurd things and everyone is like, oh, I didn't know they did that. Does Luffy become scary? Don't get me wrong, the animation is really cool and I think it's something that can enhance the character's story. It would be awesome to see an evil Luffy. Remember when he was blitzing Lucci? Dude looked like a demon in his eyes. Muay Thai fighter Nabil Anane entering the arena as Luffy. Last Sunday, Nabil Anane, who was just 20 years old, fought Superlek, a very prestigious Thai fighter, world champion in his category until very recently, and widely considered the best Muay Thai fighter in the world. And he won. He entered the arena dressed as Wano Luffy, a very appropriate fit, considering he is also strong and very, very lean. Wait till you guys hear about Mauricio Rufy. My girl made me a bookmark. Got home from work tonight and my wife made me this rad bookmark. Just wanted to share. This is super nice and it looks so cool. Share One Piece moment that made you shed tears after 2 years time skip. I wish I hadn't blinded myself. I want to see your face. I bet you look kind. I've heard that many people talk about moments in One Piece that made them cry, but most of them are from before the 2-year time skip, like when Chopper sees Dr. Herlock's cherry blossom tree, or when Robin finds the will to live again. But I'd like to know, are there any emotional moments in the New World arc that made you cry too? I just love this scene. It shows how respect should be given freely no matter where one stands in the grand scheme of things. Also, interesting how Luffy never attacked Fujitora on his own, but had completely opposite reaction to Aokiji. 28 years in 18 panels. The 13th picture is so sad, and then the 14th one is so wholesome and heartwarming. Nico Robin. This piece took 5 to 7 hours. This is so good. Love Robin. One of the funniest scenes to me. That was a talking crocodile with clothes and a hat. This forest is dangerous and weird. Seriously? At this point, if that freaks you out? For me, it's when Zoro arrived before Sanji to the top of the building and Zoro tells to Sanji, "You are late. Did you get lost?" It's been 2 years since we saw Trafalgar Law in One Piece manga. Go back, Beppo. I can't leave my friends behind. Every day from his last appearance is another day closer to his next. He won't escape forever. Gear 5 is a menace. When someone gets punched in the head, their head usually snaps back a bit. The movement actually helps. It's the body's way of reducing the force by letting some of the energy turn into motion. But what if the head couldn't move? Say it's affected by a devil fruit like Luffy's. In that case, almost all the force goes straight into the skull and brain, making the impact much more damaging. In fact, when you're not able to move, the body can absorb up to twice as much force compared to when you can move freely. Here's how it breaks down. Unbraced, movable, absorbs about 50 to 60% of the punch's energy. Braced, immobile, absorbs 90 to 100% of the energy. Basically, even if he is lacking in strength, Luffy's ability can make him into a mini Garp. His punches will be fully absorbed by the target before being swung far away. Kizaru's reaction to that punch just had me laughing. This is no good. Yamato. Credits Boru D. Bryan. This gotta be the most auraless crew in One Piece, man. I think it's Apu and his non-existent crew. What if? Kizaru vs. Big Mom Pirates, Part 3 End. The fierce battle between Marine Admiral Kizaru and Emperor Crew Captain Big Mom rages on. Yada no Kagami. Cognac! Shave. Tempest kick, falling stars. You got overconfident. Not forgetting about me, are ya? Dearie me, I'm afraid this leg will be done for if I exert it any further. Mama! Wonderful work, Hyperion. Your speed is more than enough to keep up with him, and his mobility is crippled thanks to you taking a bite out of him. Now, let's see how well you three do in a combined attack. Hyperion's speed, Prometheus's firepower. This'll put you down for good. Miser Cannon. This isn't good. Impressive! He conjured light clones to push him out of the way and hide him. A decent party trick, but any half-decent observation hockey user can discern which one is the real you. Prometheus, Hyperion, you two, eliminate the clones. I can sense which one has your voice. I'll slice through the real one in two. He swapped his real body out for a clone at the last second? Wait, that means the real one is... You brat! Do you really think impaling my head would be enough to stop internal destruction? Oh, my head! I can't hear anything. Vision blurring. Damn you, Kizaru! My hockey ran out right as he went for the blow. What? Who's there? Lin Lin, age really has slowed you down, hasn't it, you old bag? Dying before even reaching Wano. I expected better of you. Kaido! That damn brat, if he found out... No, I refuse to die here, to that Navy pest. I am Big Mom! Prometheus, Napoleon, Hyperion, come! Fuse with me! Using her Fruit Awakening, Big Mom can absorb her homies into her body, and if all her homies are absorbed simultaneously. Ooh, that's not good at all. Misery! No good. It doesn't pierce through. I have no other choice but to use it, and that means... So, Instructor Zephyr, I've been working real hard to come up with a special, super awesome sure kill technique. And that's about the gist of it. What do you think? It's the coolest thing ever, right? Orsolino, where the HFIL do I even start with this? That attack is defective. At velocities like that, even a master of armament hockey would shatter his bones attempting that little maneuver you dreamt up. And if your enemy has the wits to dodge, you'll miss the kick completely and end up crippled on the floor having done no damage. A sitting duck. Well, whatever. At least the name is super cool. I call it Starfall. That's lame. Whoa, aren't you guys supposed to back me up here? It's quiet up here. I wonder, down there, how are you doing? Sentomaru, Bonnie, Vegapunk. Starfall. Miser Cannon! Physical blows from someone in my condition will do nothing. But those who ate a devil fruit will always have the ire of the sea itself. Whew, it cost me both of my legs to defeat you, and the last of my strength to summon enough clones to drag you back up to the ship. But now, it's all over for you. I can't believe it. Even though she's unconscious, her body is moving on its own. That's it then. It's been fun, Sakuzaki. Gravity Blade. Suffocation Vines. That hag sure is lively. Kizaru-san, I've never seen you roughed up this much. Just how long were you fighting for? Kainu sent us as backup after your transponder snail went dark. Looks like we were right on time. Rest now, madam. You've done enough today. It was quite a sight. Even after she was knocked unconscious, she was still moving. I suppose that's the power of a mother scorned. Big Mom turning into Godzilla was great. How did Crocodile go from losing to early Luffy to being worth 2 billion berries? Maybe this has already been discussed here, but I wanted to have some opinions about it. Isn't it a bit mismanaged from Oda? Seems like Crocodile got cherry-picked just because the author needed him in the plot to suddenly become way more powerful than what he was. Or is it because Oda wanted to buff the former Shichibukai after some fans' disappointment in their power levels? To me, that's why One Piece sometimes seems a little bit poorly written. Characters like Crocodile gets a huge buff out of nowhere, while other past villains don't, and even some supernovas, who were introduced as Luffy's rivals, end up not improving this much between their introduction and their use in the story. Why can Luffy and the crew get stronger in 2 years, but not Crocodile? Anyways, this is also part of the reason why power scaling bounties is silly. Crocodile's huge bounty buff mainly comes from his influence and for being one of the few pirates who's ever been an active threat to the Navy. I think people gloss over the fact that Franky met Odin. Franky gave 0 flaps about him. One Piece live action shows off Chopper's hat. Oh boy, it's chapter 906 all over again. Who has the hardest goal in One Piece? Pirate King? Draw a map of the world? Cure all diseases? World's strongest swordsman? Overthrow world government? Marry Luffy? Find the All Blue? Collect all legendary swords? Unite all races? Tashigi's goal already cooked. What is the funniest thing you've seen a One Piece character do as if it's completely normal? That time Chopper stole Brook's skull joke. Imu's body is weird. Imu, part of the long neck, long arm, long leg, long cucumber tribe. I could take on a supernova. I could take on a supernova. Sanji beat the allegations. Toei added this line of Sanji not knowing Bonnie is a child. How could I leave a child like her in the lurch? A child? Remind me to call my lawyer. What people think Kaido said. Only a handful of the very strongest can, unless you're Zoro or Yamato. Man, Wano Onigashima were wild times. People wanted Zoro to defeat Kaido or get his head so bad just because it makes sense if we connect these specific dots to make it work, or it's Zoro's arc. As soon as the story wasn't going that route, they started to slander/hate on Wano. My One Piece fan theory. Kuzan is Brook's biological son. Only issue is when we meet Brook, he had been in the Florian Triangle for 50 years. Aokiji was 47 at that time. Could be his grandson though. I love how you can see Kizaru trying to transform into Light, his back, but he can't because Luffy's Haki has him locked in place, countering his Logia intangibility. To me, this looks more like a typical fire attack in the anime. Heat passing through and coming out of the back. Edit, since this has come up too many times, this still frame is a compositional shot after the attack is already over. Look at the animation of the attack itself, before this. How it hits and how the fire-like energy goes out the back. You can even pick up a ruler and see how straight the line is from Luffy's right shoulder over his legs to behind Kizaru's back. Bought this wooden art puzzle from Japan. I have most of the ships, except the new Saber of Zebek. They are such fun to build. Hope they will produce many more. Wooden Art Kigumi, in case anyone is curious. Paramecia power that impresses you so much because of how unique it is. Paramecia is one of the 3 devil fruit types which allows the consumer to achieve one of a large variety of abilities that enables them to become superhuman or perform a superhuman feat. Detail of powers that are shown in photo. Otama allows her to create dango from her cheeks and use it to tame animals. Beiji allows him to be a living fortress where he can also hold living people inside his body. Brule allows her to create mirrors and reflect attacks. Monter D'Or allows him to manipulate books and also trapping living things inside a book setting. Pizarro allows him to merge with an island and manipulate it. Minus Kuma because how the flap do pause, let you fly, remove damage/memories, compress air bombs, reflect attacks. Don't remember Luffy having that second scar. Deleted scene from Amazon Lily. This piece took around 6 to 8 hours. I love this. Would totally get it as a print. This is insane. Chapter 786. Gyatz. Request. Luffy and a monkey trying to get Law to eat bread by Greedy OFG. Our boy doesn't really like bread. Don't be an idiot. We've got a plan to follow here. Sanji, I'm hungry. What's for breakfast? Sandwiches.
Ooh, I want a cotton candy sandwich.
Just some tea for me. I don't really like bread. Poor Brook never experienced peak fiction. No wonder he's dead inside. Yo-ho-ho-ho-ho! What? You got amnesia like Big Mom? Drew Perona. She can fix me. Still one of the biggest mysteries in One Piece. Agreed. Where the flap did they find this big piece of black fabric the size of Whitebeard? Why does Brook know about them? I'm afraid this one likely holds an even higher rank, a God's Knight. I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself sooner. I'm Deadbones Brook. I'm a wanted man. My nickname is Humming Swordsman Brook. I have a bounty of 33 million berries on my head. Long ago, I was the leader of a battle convoy in a certain kingdom. After that, I served with the Rumbar Pirates as the musician, swordsman, and later stepped in as captain. Do you guys think that Brook had something to do with the Holy Knights in the past? Brook's thin pre-piracy backstory was that he was a soldier for some unnamed kingdom. Maybe his unit once witnessed some of the God Knights. Peak comedy. Sanji is the failure of Germa. His skin is no armor. He busies himself with menial cooking. He has no royal pride. He is swayed by pointless emotions and exposes himself to danger for the sake of the weak. His mentality is soft. He is flawed as a soldier. He is a failure. So long, thanks for the backup. Why don't you answer me, Straw Hat? That was weird. Why was he just listing off all your best qualities? That definitely wasn't what he thought he was doing. Boy, you guys are the best. One Piece animator goes off about Toei. I think Toei should fire the One Piece sound team immediately. It's unprofessional work. I agree. I don't know why Toei is still using dated, several-decade-old sound effects. It's even worse because a lot of them come from Dragon Ball. Looking back, Fisher Tiger really infiltrated Marijoa and freed hella slaves, but lost to this. To be fair, he got jumped by mariners and adult gone. Wife got me a birthday cake. Definitely gonna have more than one piece. Marry her. Another time. Hear me out. This could be Imu's design. Crackpipe theory, I know. But knowing Oda, it's not 0% impossible. Innocence? This guy is immortal. He defeated Joy Boy. He has a power in his hands capable of destroying an entire island in seconds. He is watched over by the Goroseis and Celestial Dragons, who are also immortal. He also has the second greatest Conqueror's Haki in the entire world and more than 800 years of knowledge. This man, on the other hand, does not master any type of Haki, takes more damage than usual, Yami Yami no Mi effect, almost lost to Whitebeard while injured, to Law and trembled against Mihawk Seraphim, ran from Akainu even though he had a numerical advantage, never fought against any Yonko or Admiral. And there are still people saying that Blackbeard will kill Imu. Well, that's the thing about old Blackbeard. He just kind of finds a way. Probably not honorable, graceful, or respectable, but as a famed dynamite thrower once said, hey, if it works. One of the funniest frames I've ever seen. Seeing all the Kizaru faces made me bust out laughing way harder than it should have. Looks like someone just edited Kizaru's face on light beams and rotated it weird. This is crazy, bro. Robin's Devil Fruit ability, the Flower Fruit, can let her sprout any part of her body. Can she make those huge devil fruits sprout too? Eriora Frior, said Black Robin. I'd like to get hit by that. Ero fruit user. Un flare, dos flares, Eriora Flareus. That's pretty clever of you. Stop it. But I'm sure she can do it. He gets these questions all the time, and as a professional, he answers them all the time. Is this valuable? My brother found this in his bedroom. This is an original piece, sealed, of the first volume. I do think it's first print Italian. Do you think it has some value? I'll give you 100 berries for it. Debauchery. Oda-sensei, please tell us the hobbies of the worst generation. Luffy, adventuring, parties. Zoro, training, booze. Law, wandering, collecting commemorative coins. Kid, listening to music, weapon collecting. Apu, DJing, surfing. Beige, contemplating art, board games. Hawkins, interior design, bathing. Drake, loves reptiles, astrophysics. Bonnie, eating, Jenga. Killer, drums, cooking. Rouge, booze, debauchery, mountain climbing. Blackbeard, gambling, studying history. That's about it. I like Blackbeard's crazy, intelligent vibe. I want to see Law's coin collection. How much is his bounty worth? Our bounties are over 3 billion betties. Our bounties are over 4 billion betties. Our bounties are over 5 billion betties. Dragon is classified as the most wanted man in the world, so I hope the bounty lives up to it. I hope it just says, name your price, wanted, dead, because I just think that'd be cool. If not, I hope it's 10 or 6 billion. Only thing that worries me is the rest of the Revolutionary Army's bounties not being super high. Betty's is 457 mil, Karasu is 400 mil, Morley's is 293 mil, Lindbergh's is 316 mil, Sabo's is 602 million, which feels like a serious lowball. I feel it should be a couple billion at least. What devil fruit would Jack have? I personally think that he wouldn't have one, but if he did, what fruit would it be? He'd fake having a fruit somehow, only to show off when he's caught and suddenly shows he can swim just fine. Acceleration is humiliation. At this point, the Egghead Dome did more damage to Luffy than this damn Admiral. He's a new Emperor. They've always seemed untouchable and immune to everything until their weakness is discovered. Till this day, it's still funny. We need at least a good 5 minutes of Zoro killing bounty hunters in Season 2 of the live action. How do you interpret their dynamic? They feel like mother and son to me, to be honest. Older sister, or maybe like a fun aunt. Live action Straw Hats redraw. It feels weird to see Zoro with 2 eyes. Same energy. Well, Oda did say he took inspiration from Tom and Jerry in the double interview with Aoyama. Jinbei's gag. Comedy dynamics, exaggerated quirks, general perversion. Humor is clearly an integral part of the Straw Hat Pirates' social ecosystem, so in order to better integrate myself to my new crewmates, I must develop a gag of my own. Behold, my friends. My, how clumsy of me! Do you need help? My, I got soup. Jinbei, what's wrong? Are you feeling well? This isn't good. Poor thing. Speak to us! Dang, bro! His gag is to be the comically bland uncle, the only one to act like a normal, reasonably serious person with no real eccentricities to speak of. Nami fan art by Orange Rider Counter. Calm down, son. It's just a drawing. Nami by me. Impressive. Very nice. Now, let's see the comment section. Reiju by me. Don't let her incredible body distract you from the fact that she's an amazing sister. Pre-time skip Robin was so fine. The tan skin, the somewhat realistic build, the bangs, it's just better. I just liked it when she stopped being so depressed. How do you think Luffy will overcome this technique? Bring it on! Baraka Spyro!
What's happening?
Zihahaha! What was that all about? What? Black Spiral / Vortex is the technique of Marshall D. Teach Blackbeard, which he uses to pull his opponent towards him and nullify their Devil Fruit power, followed by a punch / finishing blow, or perhaps Quake power now that he got that one. Blackbeard will just use it once and never after when he realizes he pulled Garp's grandson to punching range. Straw Hats in the office. Sadly, I doubt I'll ever finish this piece, but I hope some of you might enjoy it. Put a water cooler with Jinbei in the back. How Shanks actually fights? Comic by me. You lack the skill. Maybe you're right. Now I can see why you chose this island. This explains why he hasn't fought Mihawk since he lost his arm. Can't play the flute one-handed. Only in Japan. You'd think Ace would fit the design more. Usopp's Timeskip Island was a wasted opportunity. Usopp should have been sent to an island with some type of sniper culture, commonly known as Sniper Island. That way he could say he comes from there, turning another lie into a reality. Also, the carnivorous plants made his fights really boring compared to the tricks and traps from before, and don't fit the sniper theme at all. I apologize if this is something that's been said before ad nauseum, but I've never seen someone mention it. Image by KemT. I like this art, and the idea of Sniper Island is cool, but I love my goat Heracles. New official Marines art. Garp built like the Kingpin. Why Vivi forehead gets larger when up close. Did Oda-sensei forget about him? We are live here at Laugh-Tale, where Luffy is about to claim the one... Wait, what's this? By God, it's Arouge with the steel chair! I did a Kuma and Bonnie fan art. Hope you like it.
Emotional damage!
Looks great. The disrespect is crazy. He ain't your uncle, bro. Chill. This is one of the most genuine expressions of "the flap are you doing" I've ever seen. Did you know Sanji's original name was supposed to be Naruto? He was going to be named after Narutomaki fish cakes, yes. Kinda curious to know what his siblings would be named in this alternate scenario. Who was the worst throwaway villain? Oda loves introducing these complete fodder villains who for some reason take up multiple chapters of screen time that could easily be removed or cut down. Which would you say was the worst? Did we really need the Satori twins? This outfit from episode 1 is still one of Nami's best looks. Pirate Nami. I noticed Whitey Bay inherited Whitebeard's beads on his hat. I just realized if you look at Whitey Bay and Whitebeard 30 years ago compared to now, she didn't have her beads and Whitebeard stopped wearing his hat and beads. Seeing as she was one of Whitebeard's first crewmates, it's quite a wholesome thing to notice that he gave his daughter a keepsake when she left to form her own crew. Truly the best father in One Piece. Seems more like she's just trying to imitate Whitebeard's old grip. Couldn't forget him. Luffy with names? Tragai, Rooster, Hammock, Jaggy, Cabbage, Pineapple Head. But Kizaru. Bro waited 2 years for that exact moment. Who do you think is the best looking One Piece girl? The Queen. Mary was on Sunny when Straw Hats first boarded Sunny. That is the Klabauterman for Sunny. Personally, I think it's different from the one for Mary. When watching, I assumed it was the Sunny's because of the orange coat. I think Mary's was blue, and Frankie putting a lot of care into building it to begin with. I interpreted it as a new Klabauterman manifesting and considering making this ship and crew its new home. We, as the viewers, know the crew was going to love Sunny dearly, so it's only natural that the ship would have one. Just a question of / if, when, how it would manifest. I really wish we got to see this Klabauterman or others more, as this was such a good concept, especially if it helped clarify the existence of them. But alas. I love how One Piece is celebrated across the world. I like how we can hype up sports with Luffy so well. Luffy deserves to be plastered over the whole earth. I flapping love seeing his face in the wild, even today, when anime is a lot more common. Original fan art, Rebecca alternate gladiator outfit concept. I always felt like Rebecca's armor was just another way to humiliate her. Keeps in line with Dofi being a predator. Dare I say it, this might just be one of Nami's best looks yet. Hope you had fun beating your cucumber. Now it's my turn. Why didn't anyone tell me? Tama and Orochi are in the same family. Did everyone know? Did I miss something during the Wano arc? In the manga, when Otama prays on her family graves, it's marked there. But us in English didn't get the translation. Oda confirmed in the SBS. The best girl from One Piece. Who is your favorite? When someone asks me about the type of woman I like. Robin, because of her dark humor. I wonder if the sea will turn red if we all get smashed at once. Zoro, chill out. It's just base Lucci. The anime always makes clashes look harder for the Straw Hats than they are in the manga. Whitebeard grew when they were kids, by Oda. Let's all remember, Vista is the most gentlemanly Chad in the whole crew. Do you think all Logia have a monster form? Show us your Logia monster form. You're not ready. And that we haven't seen others do it because they don't have the reason to yet? Or perhaps they did it off-screen, like the fight between Akainu and Kuzan that transformed the whole island of Punk Hazard into a Frostfire donut. Logias are shapeshifters. They can transform into their element and look like a monster if they want. Why Luffy looking at Kizaru like a 10-piece nugget? A light lunch. Such a romantic. It's okay, Luffy. We put everything that you like on the ship. And I think I'll be a good wife since I'm thoughtful like that. I'm not gonna get married. Thank you for the food. At least he knows what a wife and getting married means. Goku didn't know and got married thinking it was something to do with food. Zoro at it again. Canon. I think Mihawk is actually just another meathead swordsman. Sorry, but this is the smallest knife I've got. This might be obvious to others. Okay, so hear me out. You know how Mihawk, when fighting East Blue Zoro, only used his butter knife cross thing, and when asked about it, he mentioned that it was the smallest blade he had on hand? And when Zoro got his respect, only then did he pull out Yoru? Well, I believe this is because Mihawk is actually a meathead who genuinely believes that the bigger one's sword is the stronger one is, and that using a tiny sword when you have a bigger option is the highest form of disrespect. Just like Zoro as a kid grabbing as many swords as he can and using them all at once before settling on 3 because that was the most he could effectively use. I think Mihawk as well started with a sword far bigger than the one we know today and only settled for this one because this was the biggest one he could handle effectively. Also, since Zoro found a loophole, increasing his maximum sword capacity with his Ashura 9 sword style technique, I believe Mihawk will also have a similar technique, where instead he uses Haki to increase the size, kinda like Excalibur from Fate or Asta from Black Clover. I love it, but aren't you somewhat contradicting with that it was the biggest he could handle effectively part? Cause then he wouldn't be a big meathead if he shrinks his sword. Gender-Shifted Warlords of the Sea by Oda. Jinbei looks so huggable in every form. Where are you gonna sit? 8-hour flight. Pick your seat. 5 because Garp and Ray have a sense of humor. 6 a second runner-up because, well, Boa Sandersonia. The evolution of Luffy's bounty throughout the series. Luffy told Kizaru they are 100 times stronger. I find it funny that his bounty is literally 100 times higher than at the start. I know it's only 10 times higher than when they met. Is One Piece gonna end up like this for Brook? I can imagine that the end is gonna be Usopp back in his village telling their stories, paired with various flashbacks of their adventures, followed by Brook singing Bink's Sake to Laboon, while we get shots of what all the Straw Hats and friends are up to in the future. My psychology professor is not serious. Question 19. Which of the following is an example of a primary appraisal of a stressor? Nami decides to get a divorce because her husband is cheating on her. Sanji weighs his options on dealing with the bully who is harassing him. Zoro decides to quit his job because his employer is so unpleasant. Luffy judges the man with the gun to be a moderate threat.
What?
Ask your professor if you can write about the psychology of One Piece for extra credit. One Piece Gym Collab. €24 for a 1-hour pass. Was a good experience though. Love the Hancock drink too. After looking at these pictures, I'm already pumped up like a Frankie. Is Robin about to evolve? Robin just got the Mihawk eyes. Do you think she's about to achieve a higher level of power because she refuses to let Summer and the Holy Knights get away with what they're doing to the kids? So far, we've seen that Gear 5 Luffy, Gunko, and even Rocksteady Zebek had the Mihawk eyes. And this isn't Robin's normal look. Picture 2 is her eyes in Wano. What do you think? Big Mom would occasionally have the same eyes. Mihawk and Imu have them always. I think it's just how Oda draws eyes for someone strong and locked in. I just realized that if Sabo didn't appear in Dressrosa, Luffy would have given that fruit to Usopp. Would Usopp take it though? Vinsmoke Reiju. Wish we got to see them more instead of just in Whole Cake. Still a long way to go. Saw the thumbnail on my phone, and for a moment, I thought it was something different. Zunisha size comparison. Zunisha compared to Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth, and Olympus Mons, the tallest mountain in the solar system, located on Mars. Why does this remind me of this? Detail in episode 1127. I particularly like this detail in the episode and thought it so well. I feel like when there's a Gear 5 fight scene, the production team just tells the animators to go crazy and they take that literally. This looks familiar too. Fun fact, Oda revealed in an SBS that Zunisha is from a species called Natame Norida. If you read the syllables from the back, it becomes Dari no I Mitai na, which in Japanese means looks like a painting from Dali. Check out my CP collection.
What?
Your what now? I don't understand why people hating Sanji. People call Sanji a simp, but in my perspective, he is just being a goofy, playful person around women. Maybe they can't bear this side of him, but this is his character of being playful, but polite, that is intended to be funny, not a serious stalker to women like a real simp. Moreover, he never harms or disrespects any women in the verse. For me, he is the kindest member of the Straw Hats. He has a soft spot in his heart. His backstory tells about his personality. He only has his mom by his side, and Mama's boy tends to be soft-hearted. Also, another characteristic / role of him besides being a cook is his intelligence. He can easily become a tactician in the Straw Hat Pirates because of his feats from the past arcs. Great character, great design, epic moments throughout the series, flapping annoying gag. It would have been better as just shameless flirting. Fun fact, all of these characters share the same Japanese voice actors. Japanese voice actors are superb, so many iconic voices. This reveal is truly one of the best plot twists in the entire series. Denjiro revealing his true identity and Luffy Joy Boy storyline were two of the many moments that caught me off guard while watching the episodes with surprise and unexpected turns in the story. What's your favorite One Piece plot twist, guys? The Duval reveal really got us good. Hysterical. Why did the world government give Kid the same bounty as Luffy? Are they stupid? It was 3 captains versus 2 Yonkos. That's what everyone outside knows, so taking them down gives them equal contribution. Not like the world in One Piece gets to see the anime fights. Also, keeping Luffy's abilities hidden as much as they can is also their top priority. I redrew Doflamingo in the current art style. Subarashi. Luffy impact frames. It is indeed very kaleidoscopic. Brought this beauty back from Japan. Went to Japan for the first time in my life and just had to visit a One Piece store. Ended up grabbing this beautiful figurine which has a life-size counterpart in the store I went to. The eyes popping out of the skull, genius. These are the kind of statues I would insta-buy if I saw them in a store. Really a nice statue. Good find. Luffy always wanted a crew of 10. Does he count himself in those 10? No. The chapter titles refer to each of the crew as their recruitment number. Zoro is 1, Nami is 2, Usopp is 3, Sanji is 4. I swear it's Germa behind this. Luffy. I can't become the king of the pirates without you, Sanji. Toei. Wanna bet? Usopp should wear his hair down more often. Bro looks immaculate. I tried making my own version of minimal character symbols. I like them. My feedback would be to update Sanji's to be his eyebrow swirl or something and to make Frankie's star red, but otherwise looks good. Kizaru doesn't hate the Straw Hats. He respects them more than he lets on. Let's talk about Kizaru's attitude toward the Straw Hat crew. It's a lot more complicated than Marine versus Pirate. From the first time we saw him in Sabori, Kizaru treated the Straw Hats dangerously casually. He wasn't furious like Akainu. He wasn't disgusted like some of the other Marines. He spoke to them the same way he speaks to everyone. Slow, almost bored, slightly playful. But don't mistake that for indifference. He knew how strong they were or could become. He tested them. When he kicked Luffy, when he pressed Zoro, it wasn't sadism. It was like a teacher pushing a student to see where their limits were. And even back then, you can see tiny hints. He didn't instantly kill Zoro when he had the chance. He didn't unleash his full power immediately. He almost seemed curious. Fast forward to Egghead. Kizaru is ordered to kill Vegapunk and stop the Straw Hats. He moves in fast, serious. But when he actually faces Luffy again, this time as a Yonko, you see it. He's not excited, he's not angry, he's sad. He says outright, this is the worst. Kizaru doesn't want to fight Luffy, not because he's afraid, he's way too strong for that, but because deep down, he respects what Luffy stands for. Freedom, loyalty, protecting friends. Things the Marines in their twisted system have long forgotten. Kizaru represents a generation of Marines who are trapped between duty and humanity. He obeys orders because that's who he is, but he doesn't enjoy it, and he doesn't hate the Straw Hats. If anything, he admires them in that quiet, tired way only someone who's seen too much of the world can. Kizaru presents the indecision, the humanity, the balance between Akainu and Kuzan. I really think his character was fleshed and written perfectly. His ideology comes from Vegapunk's personal sense of morality and character. Not totally good, but not bad also. They are in strive of something that would justify their morality. The conflicts, internal and external, begins to bring factors into their judgment, and changes on character based on their thinking makes them significant pieces to the story. Nico Robin. This piece took me around 5 to 6 hours. Crazy work. It looks so good. Luffy, Gear 5th. Art by me. Looks great. Is it just me, or Viola looks way better in the manga? The animators had fun drawing the less important scenes, and spent lesser time on the face, which has a 13 head. Nami. Nami-style Straw Hat Pirates. Nami doing the super pose is so adorable. Jinbei's gag. Comedic dynamics, exaggerated quirks, general perversion. Humor is clearly an integral part of the Straw Hat Pirates' social ecosystem. So in order to better integrate myself to my new crewmates, I must develop a gag of my own. Behold, my friends. My, how clumsy of me! Do you need help? My. I got soup. Jinbei, what's wrong? Are you feeling well? This isn't good. Poor thing. Speak to us. Dang, bro. Little did he know that his attempts to deliberately create a gag of his own, and complete failure at it, would become his gag. Maybe it's the same brand of paint that Mihawk uses. What kind of paint did Luffy use for the Straw Hat Pirates mark on Laboon, bruh? It never washed off. My headcanon is that Crocus does delicate touch-ups every so often for Laboon on it. Typical Nami. Buys a flap ton of clothes, proceeds to wear only a bra and jeans. They're for the rest of the crew too, so they can dress up differently at every arc. Who's likely to fight Shiryu? You don't seem afraid. Because an invisible swordsman is no match for me. Swordsman? Invisible? Ever since Shiryu got the Clear fruit, I thought it would make more sense for Sanji to be his opponent, just because Zoro's been interested in the champion since Jaya. Consider that Zoro's entertainingly high difficulty level with Kaido and King weren't due to their weapons, but their absurd strength and durability, a byproduct of their powers and lineages. Answer me this, who else in the Straw Hats should fight the guy with the strong fruit? It's gotta be Zoro versus Burgess. If you think Sanji versus a Clear fruit user again is a bit narratively uninteresting, I ask why you don't apply the same standard to Zoro fighting a sword user. Shiryu, whose only real character trait is cruelty, serves as a way better foil to Sanji, whose main trait is love. Shiryu's been noted to be disloyal and dishonorable, yes, but would you even be entertained for Zoro to wipe someone like him so cleanly? Zoro's last 1v1 against King was the peak of dedicated vice captain, peak of human ambition, versus dedicated vice captain, peak of Lunarian vengefulness. Why would we downgrade Zoro's foil to just some scummy hater? No way can Shiryu push Zoro harder than King did. Zoro beating Burgess though, a guy whose literal power is being strong? That's just so teed up for this guy. Winema. I miss the pre-time skip dynamic. That was peak. No update about this since Dressrosa arc. I think I forgot something. If you forgot, then it wasn't important. Yeah, you're right. In One Piece Heart of Gold, he is shown to have haki. I need the source to this picture. The sauce is... True or no? Hate to admit it, but yeah, men are stupid. One Piece fangirls on my timeline always go, "I love Luffy, he's so emotionally intelligent." Guys go, "Huh? How do you know Sanji is lying? Why did Netflix make him smarter?" Most men don't know he is emotionally intelligent because they aren't. Just saying. I think Luffy is not emotionally intelligent, but is empathetic. So I am clinically autistic. That means I have low emotional intelligence and struggle to know, for example, what to say or the appropriate time to respond to emotional stimuli. On the other hand, I consider myself an empathetic person, after years of trying, and am able, for the most part, to at least try to understand the person in front of me and their emotions, acting accordingly. I think Luffy has a similar issue. He is trusting as a brick, and says the first thing crossing his mind, but is empathetic and is able to detect people's feelings. I don't know if I'm able to explain myself well or not, difficult stuff to talk about. What is the best way to travel in One Piece? Dofi flying island to island was dope. How the tables have turned. Guys, I just found Sanji on another anime. Look who's lost now. Meanwhile... Oi, Luffy! If Emu showed her face, they will go for the real hunt. I'm just saying I would have done the same thing. What are your thoughts on this? I broke into Impel Down, fought my way through all levels, faced powerful enemies, was poisoned by Magellan, and was on the brink of death. Endured agonizing pain and nearly died. My friends sacrificed themselves to help me advance, fought admirals, warlords, and marines stronger than me. I suffered extreme injuries and used Gear Second repeatedly, which shortened my lifespan. After I collapsed from exhaustion, Ivankov injected me with adrenaline to continue fighting, shortening my lifespan once again. I fought impossible odds to get to you. Now, let's escape while we still can. But he's talking crap about my father. Makes you wonder, actually, how long Luffy gonna live. Will he die at a similar age like Roger? I started One Piece last year, so whenever they mention he shortens his lifespan by doing this or doing that, it really makes me think. Beat criminals for justice, get labeled a criminal. Thanks, Marines. These are their bounties. Yes. And I defeated them. Uh-huh. So I should be getting paid. Makes sense to me. So give me my paycheck. You're a criminal now. To be fair, he labeled himself a pirate before the Marines did. I still believe Sabo will awaken the Flame Fruit and burn that magma dude. In One Piece world? In real life. And he's gonna say something like, Ace is illiterate. He didn't know fire is hotter. Robinson is mean. Naruto, what has you so down? Everyone hates Boruto. I failed to launch my son as a successful main character. Don't be so hard on yourself. Want my advice? What is it? Delete yourself. Every successful main character should have at least one dead parent. Robinson, you're so mean. Goku, what has you so down? People always say I'm a bad father, even though I try my best. Don't be so hard on yourself. Want my advice? What is it? Maybe there's a reason Gohan looks more like Yamcha. You can't be a bad father if you were never a father to begin with. Robinson, you're mean. Sasuke, what has you so down? I betrayed everyone who ever cared for me. How will I ever forgive myself? I was just like you once. Do you want to know my secret to self-forgiveness? What is it? Accept your past with both arms wide open. Robinson, you're mean. Tanjiro, what has you so down? My entire family, except Nezuko, was killed by a vampire. Don't be so hard on yourself. Want my advice? What is it? You were killing yourself working day and night to feed 5 siblings and 1 old mother. Maybe Muzan did you a favor. Robin-san, you're mean! Deku, what has you so down? I was sure I was the main character, but it turns out my destiny was to work at McDonald's while Bakugo clapped Uraraka's cake. I was just like you once. Do you want to know my secret to feeling better? Sure, what is it? I'll tell you, but first, can you get me another drink, seeing as how that's all you're good for now? Robin-san, you're mean. It all makes sense. Gohan got his tail, Super Saiyan forms, and potential from Yamcha of all people. It's really true what they say about Dragon Ball fans. Don't flap with Dragon Ball fans. We can't read. Credit for image, I am in Sinnoh. Garp? My son and all my grandsons will join the Marines. Nefertiti Cobra? What is the D? Would you rather practice baseball with Yamato or go to lunch with Luffy? What the actual flap did they do to her design, man? Wait till you hear about part of Wano in a nutshell. Today, I'm going to almost kill the 9 warriors. Oda, this is the 7th time in a row you've fake killed the 9 warriors. Seeing 9 warriors instead of Akazaya 9 feels so wrong. Same energy. Considering they're the source, yeah. I don't know how Big Mom's face anatomy works, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. Puberty was nice to Big Mom, and she became really hot, but giving birth to 85 children will do things to your body. Wife? Low budget cosplay. Admiral Ecosystem. This pick killed me for some reason. All I can think about is walking through a forest, and some tree looks at you and says, "Hey, you! Bow to the celestial dragons. They are the gods of this world." Then you just stare at it and walk away. Another meme, kinda dark. Luffy being his careless self. What the flap does Kobe gotta do with this? One Piece animator has called for the latest series' entire sound team to be fired over unprofessional work. Dog, I hope so, cause I can only take so many of the exact same sword clash sound effects when Zoro fights. True man of culture. One Piece fans enjoying the story? Oda. Oda writing a 1,000-chapter doujin as an excuse to draw bazongas and accidentally making a masterpiece. Goda. Then? Now. Shinjan's principal looks literally the same with less details and a different art style. What the flap? Mami Nami. That's a different take on Mami Nami than what I was expecting. Saturn really hitting that pose. Since the shoe fits. Who invited Oolong? Choose one. Observation Haki. It's very useful in real life, if I can react confidently, which I can't, but it could help me learn to react better. Armament Haki, I'm not trying to kill anyone with my bare hands. Conqueror's Haki, not trying to make people scared of me. Observation Haki would be very useful. Homie is proof. When I see people insist that Big Mom and Kaido are dead. Boa tells Blackbeard that if he kills her, even the next user won't be able to undo her power. If her power can persist after death, it's possible the homies can too. I'm 29. I've aged past half the crew, and I was younger than them all when I started. No, not the purple one. Kid? I have to dress up as a god for school. Dad, say no more. That's Sogeking, not God Usopp. Nami saw your last saved image and decided there was no point in even discussing it. What was it? A man's gambling addiction will never die. The power of the time skip glow-ups and groove-ups. What time skip did to Nami? What time skip did to Brook? Now that's one funky skeleton. This was peak from Luffy. Show me the greatest traitor. I said the greatest. Perfection. You'd think that Luffy would have made a massive deal out of Ace being the goddamn Pirate King's son. What with that being his lifelong goal and whatnot, even at that age. But maybe the way he reacts to that is exactly what makes him Luffy, so... Zoro killed it. I pray y'all understand this. Other Devil Fruit awakenings? Chopper's Devil Fruit awakening. So the base model Hito Hito no Mi took a literal deer and made it to where he could become one of the best doctors in the world. His awakening might just be dude mode, but dude will be very smart. Either that, or his awakening will give him the power to put Luffy and Zoro to the middle of the IQ bell curve. That would cause problems. Keep it super by Huyondere on Tumblr. Can't lie, but I've been snacking on cookies all day. This is why I flap with you. You always keep it super! Whoa! How many of you got into One Piece after it reached 1,000 episodes in anime? I heard good things about One Piece. Let's check it out. 1,000 plus episodes?! Was it recommended to you, or purely curiosity? No, not episodes, but after there were a little more than 1,000 chapters. And I was excited because my friends loved it, and it just meant that there was more to enjoy. I'm just gonna leave this here. Before watching One Piece? After watching One Piece? What's that word for you that you don't hear/say it the same after watching One Piece? Shambles. Buggy over Admirals. Even the Admirals weren't able to defeat Captain Buggy. I like Buggy. Same. Would you rather wake up in Robin's body or Sanji's? Define in body. Is it waking up as Robin or Sanji, or still being you but with a limb in it? How other characters see Luffy? Garp? Nami? Bartolomeo? Sabo? Hancock? Fujitora. Actually, Fujitora imagines/sees Luffy like this. It's drawn by Oda in an SBS. Would you rather get lost in the desert with Luffy, stranded in space with Nami, or trapped in a zombie city with Usopp? Space with Nami. She is good enough at navigation, she'll probably get us home safely. Oi, oi, oi. How I be looking at my mom after she said, "Boy, look at your room. It's in shambles. This should be against the law." It's funny, Mom, because that reminds me of one of my favorite characters in One Piece. You act like a kid. Okay, I'll tidy up my room, but please never say that again. Can we get much higher? The actress for Nami in live-action One Piece on her way to get her 16th Devil Fruit enlargement in order to stay lore accurate to the show. I'm more concerned with Alvida. When will Dragon going to move his lazy bum? We will fight when the Holy Knights start moving. Ah, flap, they moved. Watch him be the one who ends up fighting Imu instead of Luffy because their Hakis end up being the strongest and are the only choice on each side to fight each other because everyone is fodder to them. Hired. Ability? I'm a tree. Hired. Ability? Skull jokes. Hired. I mean... Robin is the child of Indiana Jones and a melon? Wow, I really need to catch up on the story. 91 Paramecias, 54 zones. If I had a nickel for every Logia user, I'd have 13 nickels, which isn't a lot. The Logias are confirmed to be pretty rare, so that seems consistent to me. As far as I can think, most are pretty significant characters due to the rarity and strength of their fruits. How many mythical zones are there? I'm telling you, Con di Oriano will return.
I'm going to be the 11th Straw Hat. No, I'm going to be the 11th Straw Hat.
Idiots.
What was that, punk?
Idiots. Y'all are fools. This dude is clearly gonna be next on the crew. Never believe in silhouettes. He's not as boss as Shanks. See? Wait. Then we'll wait for Imu to be vastly different from the silhouette. Sad to see it. One Piece fans having their studios being biased against the character. First time? It's funny that people think that Toei not caring as much about Sanji bias is new. Probably a good thing the internet/social media wasn't as massive as it is today, because Logtown Sanji would have caused riots. In the manga, he is facing Smoker together with Luffy and is attacking him when Luffy is caught, and then after Dragon shows up, the trio of Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro, after he fought Tashigi, reunite and make it to the ship together. Meanwhile, the anime has Luffy send Sanji ahead to face Smoker alone, and Sanji is catching up to Nami and Usopp on the boat by himself, while he is chased by Marines, at which point he gets saved by Usopp sniping them. Free time skip Zoro is more funny in my opinion. I've already memorized the map. I go right. Free time skip Zoro was less stoic and showed emotion more often. Free time skip Oda is ruthless. Secret power up now, right? Flap. It's so bad bros start throwing up gang signs. The secret power is just PTSD. How did Blackbeard suck that devil fruit out of Whitebeard? I hate Sanji's biological dad. I like cooking and animals. Christ, you are extremely flapping weak. Die. I am 8 years old. Yes, he isn't really supposed to be a likable guy. Everyone knows this was the saddest sacrifice in all of fiction. It's cute. Bless this man. Me watching Oda turn a throwaway joke from 300 chapters ago into a major plot point. Yes, one must never underestimate a goat. It's so peak. Mihawk Slander, Hall of Shame, number 2. Nice, clean strokes is the key. Oh, you're a pro! 40 sets of drying his sword. 20 laps around the pool without getting the sword wet. Preparing for emergency situations. 100-yard dashes from those who may pose a challenge. Only character who knows where to buy black paint. Stalled crocodile. Strongest observation hockey in the verse. Can see on which islands all the top tiers are and avoid traveling there. Potentially in Kaido's top 50. Speed blitzed a block of ice. Tired already, Hawkeye? You're not as strong as you're hyped up to be. It's just a title, Vista. Nowhere to run. Maybe we need to end the Warlord system. Let's go claim the One Piece. Do we have to fight the other Yonko? Mihawk, I know you painted that sword black. You want to challenge me? Bring it on. I got the title. I don't need to fight them, right? Meet Leechhawk, aka World's Strongest Title Man. Marine Hunter. Runs for Marines, then becomes subordinate to a literal clown. Kaido's top 5? No. Oda's top 12? No. Sword Swallower's top 0? He beats Goku. Wants to measure the distance between him and a stage 4 cancer patient. Yonko level, stalled blocked by Crocodile pre-Gear 2 Luffy victim, Doflamingo, Cracker victim, Jozu, YC3, Vista, 5th Division Commander, aka YC5. Give me freedom, give me fire, give me excuses to avoid fighting strong enemies or I retire. They call me 007. 0 drive, 0 actual feats, 7 cherry-picked databook statements from 20 years ago. MFW when I'm in a Yonko crew and I have to do Yonko crew things. Cashes in East Blue bounties to restock on black paint. His fans are really just Laurel fans in disguise. Shanks just one-shotted a guy worth 3 billion. Would you fight a Yonko? Nah, I'd sweat. Sorry, you're not on the list, buddy. I've come to paint your sword black. Sensei, did you really fight equally with Akagami Shanks in the past? Is that all? My captain's calling me. I gotta go. Yeah, we were equal, and he was not a kid. It's not your fault. It's your nature to run. The blood of a fraud courses through your veins. I still have the East Blue. Am I the only one? Oh, you like One Piece? What's your favorite part about it? Power scaling. My favorite part was this. Anime versus live action. No offense to Lotto, but this will always be top tier Ben Beckman slander. My parents are related. The supernova favoritism is unreal. Which of us is your favorite? Kid-kun, I love you all equally. It's you, and by a lot. My beloved children. I just realized Kizaru is the oldest among them. Don't want me to be Fleet Admiral? Let's fight it out then. Don't want me freeing the slaves? Let's fight it out then. Don't want me to interrupt? Works for me. I always assumed it was Fujitora. Zoro got lost. Life sucks. OMG, Zoro! Zoro got lost and made it to my room. He said he's been here before. He looks like he's come to cut you down. It might be that good. Red-haired Shanks' head goes for 4,048,900,000 Betty. It can't be that good. He's got Conqueror's Haki for a reason. I'm the dumbest man alive. Zoro would kill other crewmates if Luffy asked him to do so. You're clearly dumber. If Luffy asked Zoro to kill a crewmate, this is not Luffy. Birth month equals your teacher. Garp, I'm cooked. Golden apple. If you take one bite of this mysterious golden apple, you can live for 1,000 years. Sorry, but I've no interest in living for 1,000 years. It's enough if I can live through today. I, too, would fear eating strange magical fruits if I had already consumed one. Guys, hear me out. I have a theory. I know it's total madness, but I think the theory of Crocodile being Luffy's mother just gained a little bit of credibility. At Marineford, Crocodile started saving and helping Luffy after Sengoku said that he was Dragon's son. Only after that. Could it be? Did I just time travel to the past? I want Sanji to be lost too once in a while. You guys look hungry. Have some fried rice.
Emotional damage!
Characters at the bottom are from Grave of the Fireflies, 1988. Think I'm gonna cry. Oh damn. Hey Hancock, wanna hear a joke? What is it? The Will of D. I don't get it. Exactly. I just know for a fact Nami would never antagonize Boa, both because she's strong and because she's an empress of her own island. Like, I could even imagine a joke scene where Hancock asks Luffy to marry her and he nonchalantly rejects her, to which Nami gets jokingly angry and tries convincing him to change his mind because she's rich and royalty. That would be such a Nami thing to do. Guys, do you think the horns on Yamato are a hereditary feature due to ancient giant lineage? I'm not making this post for any particular reason. Yamato inherited them from Kaido, but it's not clear if the horns are there because they are part of another race. Oda admitted before that he enjoys drawing horns too. Yin and Yang. Has the power of fire but has a cold heart. Has the power of ice but has a warm heart. Kizaru has the fastest devil fruit but is slow mentally. Edit, Just A's reply has a way better contradiction, read that instead. Green Bull has the power to give life but only uses it to drain others of it. Fujitora has the power to bring things down, but lifts people up. That's not Kizaru's contradiction. Kizaru went on killing and hurting people he once cared for. He repressed his remorse and his affection towards them so he could carry on the mission he was given. Never noticed that Kizaru wears sunglasses despite that he's a light man? It's because he shields his eyes from the truth. He decides to live in the dark, rather than being true to himself. Some pictures.
Happy Mother's Day! Posting this without Dadan is just straight up blasphemy. Shame on you. His death is definitely among the top 3 deaths in the Big 3. If Ace didn't die, he wouldn't be as popular or liked as he is in this timeline. Change my mind. Ace was literally instantly popular despite only briefly appearing in Alabasta. I don't care about him that much, but he's always been popular. What would you cook if Oda let you? Have Usopp showcase advanced observation haki, which allows him to run away more efficiently, having an impressive feat but still be aligned with his character. Oni hug. Wanna spar? Sure. I win. You gotta try harder, Ace. Worth it. Here it comes. Rox D. Zebek is still alive. Rox D. Zebek is Gastino? Sabo's relationship with his 2 goofy brothers in a nutshell. I'm not saying good job, guys. That raid was dog feces. I'm gonna be honest. I know a lot of people writes off Sabo as an Ace clone, but to be honest, Sabo is really likable in comparison with Ace. Admiral's Fancast.
What?
Am I wrong? Every masterpiece has a cheap copy. Both is good. Thoughts on your roommate? Your birth month is your roommate. Yay, I got Nami! Knowing her, she'll probably gaslight me into paying all the rent and bills. And now was almost unstoppable before Haki was introduced. Still one of the most powerful Devil Fruit in terms of destructive power we've seen so far, with Luffy being pretty much his one and only weakness. Haki does make you more tanky, but you'll still do damage to them, while Luffy's Devil Fruit literally nullified all of Enel's lightning attacks. So he was fighting Luffy as pretty much a normal guy who can heat up gold, basically a worse version of Oven, rather than the lightning god he is. Who? Who do you trust the most? World Health Organization or Dr. Chopper? World Health Organization literally stands for WHO. That's right, nobody has ever heard of their name because they're so negligible. Now Dr. Chopper, on the other hand... Bro's life must have flashed before his eyes. How could I leave a child like her in the lurch? A child? In the manga, Sanji never once reacted like that to Bonnie. Depends on the context. I say her whole body deserves to be pulverized. Yeah, smash her! That post right there, officer. Would you rather have Zoro as your pilot, be stuck on Mars with Robin, or be trapped on an island of cannibal women with Sanji? Cannibal Island with Sanji. They can eat his cooking while I run away. One Piece? Nah, she's after one bite. Let's eat, everyone. Let's eat everyone. If Big Mom was the protagonist of One Piece, she'd probably find the One Piece way before Akainu and or Luffy. History repeats itself. Vinsmoke is Sanji's family name? That's a name that makes my backbone crawl. But it can't be. I'm afraid this one likely holds an even higher rank. A God's Knight. If Brook says his childhood friend is Joy Boy, I wouldn't doubt him. Luffy loves his friends by Huyandere. Friends, cake or devil fruits? Friends! Let's say you woke up at 3 AM and saw this creature. What would you do? First, scream, then... Who do you think should have joined the Straw Hats? Bon Clay. He passed the loyalty test by 1,000,000%. Plus, his awakened power would probably be super powerful. With him, they could easily infiltrate anywhere. Would you rather get lost in a forest with Zoro, on an island with Yamato, or in the Arctic with Robin? Are we lost or Zoro lost? Because when I'm tired of my camping trip with Zoro, I can just walk us in the direction of the nearest town, which is probably just beyond the tree line if we're Zoro lost. Spot the difference in these two pictures. If Luffy had Messenger. Hey, Luffy-san, it's me, Kobe.
Leave me alone, you lunatic!
Hey, Zoro is missing! Hi, isn't your friend Zoro? Cause he is here. Always trying to slide into Brulee's DMs. He can't take a hint. Describe the type of person that Luffy would hate without naming them. You're the type of guy that our captain hates the most. Caesar is the type of person that Luffy hates the most. Someone who calls him a hero. Justice for Caribou. I am a Logia user, and my fruit has a power related to the soil. Your power is amazing. I am a Logia user, and my fruit has the power related to the soil. I have never seen anything as disgusting like you in my entire life. Well, one of these people kidnaps women and is a cult leader. Crocodile at least does cool crimes. The amount of dedication yaoi artists put into their drawings is just so crazy to me. Silence, Cucumber. The heart is yearning. Robin really just said, I can excuse murdering children, but I draw the line at burning books.
What?
Reminder that she was a part of a plot involving the blowing up of a flapping capital city and the death of millions, and never really owned up to that. Y'all need to start appreciating the goat more. Meet Unlucky Man, aka the real main character. It's basically the unlucky Luffy. No destiny, no luck, no nepotism. One of the coldest designs Oda has ever come up with. Even his devil fruit looks sick as flap. The biznatches are plentiful. Mentored by the former Pirate King's right hand? Nope. Waited safely on an island for 2 years? Nope. Flap it, we ball. Flap it, we ball, flap it, we ball, flap it, we ball. Get a load of this flapping liar. Oh flap, turns out he actually did beat a sweet commander. 0 patience for Law's BS, 0 people ready for his comeback. 7-foot cucumber. Kid is so kind that he lost to Shanks on purpose as to not make Luffy sad. Beat a Yonko without using his Conqueror's Haki to Aura Farm. Uses ugly metal junk to create beautiful works of art. Oda once said Makino's child is probably that man's child. What agenda is hard to maintain? Maintaining the agenda ain't easy. Useless mid taking L's on purpose. Fact. Kid is so kind he lost to Shanks on purpose to not make Luffy sad. It's true. Would you let her control you? Would you like to be her puppet? She doesn't need a devil fruit to do it to me. Zoro Slander, Hall of Fame. But my fan said I would low diff you. Shh, it's okay. Just keep stalling. So, this is the power of base Lucci. Lend me some Haki, Odin. This is base Lucci we're up against. Dude, we're the strongest. What's the matter, Zoro? Need a backstory? Stepdaddy, I need to adopt your Haki desperately. I feel useless when I'm not on a roof. Trio is full, bro. Please lend me your power, Odin. So this is the power of base Lucci. Model, Zika. Its user's body gains the properties of huffing in combat. They're supposedly only limited by their asthma and damaged liver. They call him the Warrior of Huffing. I promise I will never lose again, except against Arlong, Enel, Aokiji, Lucci, Morius Spiders, Kizaru, Yeti Cool Brothers, Dofi Strings, and Kaido. We can't open this without a key. These bars are too thick for me to cut through. With this treasure I summon, I'm stalling you. No, I'm stalling you! I thought your kind hated humans. Our kind, huh? You literally can't. Name a more iconic duo. I'll wait. Nah, you were right, but a close second. Buddy even had somebody shining his shoes, too. Buddy is in the middle of a breakout and still took the time to get his fit right. legend. I don't know what's funnier, Crocodile insisting on them stopping in Newcomer Land, or Ivankov telling him that they're getting him out of those rags. Law, let's play.
Hey you, let's play together.
Don't you see I'm sick? Get lost.
You mean it's contagious?
Who is this idiot?
And now, I'm wearing an armor. Can we play together? I'm protected.
An armor is useless against sickness.
What?
Aw, it looked cool though. It's not even contagious anyways, but still get lost somewhere else. Hey, what are you?
Why didn't you say it sooner? I don't need any armor in the end. I found a nice place for playing earlier. There's lots of funny stuff. I found my helmet here.
Just say it's trash.
Are you crying?
Shut up!
Your last saved image defeated fake Luffy. What is it? Guys, look at this flapping fish. Difference of Blackbeard and other anime villains in a nutshell. Villain introduction in other anime? One Piece. If Luffy says they are terrible, the bar is really that low. No discrimination joke can be a canonical discriminator. Who would win? Zoro? Or, you know a lot about slaves because you are a fishman. You have no human rights. The namification of Nico Robin is just so sad to see. Oda Angels will say, her features soften because now she is safe with the crew and this is character development, when that man is just tired and just putting Nami's face in every female character. Bruh, that bum can't get any worse. Biggest glowdown in One Piece. Blood's only W in the whole time skip was scaring Sugar. Guys, maybe Elbaf isn't Usopp's arc after all. The classic One Piece Glazer's backflip. Before Nika? I don't know, man. It just looks like yet another manga about the protag who's the chosen one. No, it's not like the other mangas. Luffy makes his own free path. After Nika. A bit disappointed by this chosen one stuff. No, come on. It's been teased from the very beginning. You should have seen it coming. Not even the flapping hat was spared. RIP to the Usopp fanbase. What Usopp fans expected this arc? A power-up, good moments, good character interactions, no jobbing 24/7. What Usopp fans got this arc? The knee. Gunko really said, Luffy beating Enel was a cake pull, and I will die on this hill. Not only did Oda have him turn on and off his mantra observation haki whenever he felt like it because he wanted Luffy to hit him, but also, Luffy being able to hit Enel also makes no sense. Rubber doesn't conduct electricity. Okay, that explains why the attacks don't electrocute him. But how does it explain how he's able to touch Enel? So if the Skypians wanted to defeat Enel, all they needed was some Nerf guns? Also, Oda purposefully showed us that, in fact, Enel can use the heat generated by his electricity to melt gold, which is 1064 degrees Celsius or 1940 degrees Fahrenheit. So how the flap are his attacks not melting Luffy's skin? Tell me, Oda, why did you have to embarrass my favorite villain? Bro, Crocodile lost in the desert. In the desert. Aw, flap nah. I beat the monkeys.
What?
My dude be sweating because Zoro beating up some monkey? Why did Oda give the only strong marine woman the laundry devil fruit? What did he mean by this? Just wait until Oda reveals Imu as a woman with her devil fruit being the kitchen fruit. Even Oda didn't think his fans would defend it. Little did he know. Oda in 2022 said, I drew Gear 5 as a big joke, knowing that my readers would be disgusted by it. Battle manga becomes more serious when they follow readers' expectations. I hated that. I didn't want my manga to be too serious, so I had fun achieving it with the fight against Kaido. I was hoping Gear 5 would be something that Luffy can rarely use, like the next time we'd see it a few arcs would have passed. Bro said, this is my peak, just for it to be another transformation that he uses as soon as he doesn't low diff someone. Is this another bump stop slander or mischaracterization?
Usopp when his father abandons his dying mother versus Usopp when Luffy wants to abandon a broken ship that they've been on for 2 weeks. To be fair, I'd be pissed too if the ship my girlfriend gave me broke after less than a month. Bruh, I can tell where you are. Because of that animal stench.
What?
Mosshead is never beating the allegations. Did Oda foreshadow Skypiea from episode 1? Goda, I kneel. Let me know what else you need me to do while I'm down there.
What?
You're quite strong. I can see why you defeated Kaido, said Kizaru, unfazed. To be fair, he is always unfazed. Is it just cheaper to animate it without clear lines? One Piece peak animation? One Piece current animation. Talks about animation, compare still frames. Never change, buddy. Actually flap this guy. I strengthened 7 of my transformation points in the last 2 years. Spent 2 years learning more about his medical stuff. Okay, that's understandable. Also spent those 2 years training and specifically honed one of his transformation points just for combat. Ugly flapping Kung Fu point. Didn't get any sort of haki as a byproduct of his training. Like, why? Seriously, why? Why are you even alive, man? Ranky can replace you if he built like a Dr. Robot. I genuinely flapping hate Chopper. Self-proclaimed weak trio king, this mother flapper is just a punani for sport. One Piece feels more like an RPG where you only bothered leveling up a few characters and the rest just sit in the airship / the end of time / your Pokemon computer. This clearly shows that Akainu is above Dragon by like 3 tiers. The fact Akainu has a perfect hairline while Dragon, who's the same age, is getting low diff by male pattern baldness proves who's stronger. Once Dragon and Akainu had a battle on an island, and it looked like this afterwards. That time when Oda knew how to create side characters without making them overshadow the Straw Hats. In post-time skip, you have Law having more screen time than every non-monster trio Straw Hat, and a whole arc dedicated to him. Water 7 Saga, my beloved. I just want this Luffy back, man. There hasn't been a single moment after this which made me feel the same admiration for Luffy as this moment did, and I don't know why. Big Mom as a force of nature and her crew as monsters was a great arc. It would have been better if there were actually consequences to fighting her. You wouldn't even have to kill someone. Literally have her steal their life force. Genuinely, what are the odds of this happening? So, that's how it ends? 100% no way in HFIL they will not milk it to the end of time. Dragon Ball went to Super and Daima. Naruto went to Boruto. Bleach went to the HFIL arc. One Piece have it too in the form of remakes at this point. He's actually from the fake Straw Hat crew. They can't be the same. Kung Fu Point looks so poop, it actually hurts. Rewatching old One Piece makes me sad. Early One Piece was something special, man. It was damn near perfect, I'd argue. It just felt like so much fun. Everything was so alive, and it felt so full of wonder. What special technique might the next villain have? What shenanigans will Luffy and Usopp get up to next? Where will they go? It truly felt like an adventure. Maybe it's nostalgia talking, but it really was something special, like I said. I believe in Lucci's words now. Straw Hats ain't no Yonko crew. I don't recognize Straw Hat as a Yonko. To be fair, the reason they don't attack Yonkos is because they tend to declare active warfare. What's Luffy gonna do? Go to the next island? Hold on, I thought this is a joke. Sanji's character is proposed to get killed. Sanji's character has sparked controversy among Toei animation staff, with many animators refusing to work on him. Consequently, there is a proposal to Oda to consider killing off his character in the anime.
What?
You really believe this? The weak should fear the strong. Jinbei downfall needs to be studied, dude. Literal definition of boss versus boss as a playable character. That's your endgame antagonist. When fighting Pirate King's left hand? when fighting Pirate King's right hand. Someone in Toei loves Kizaru, man. A Yonko just threw him towards the ocean, and he is posing nonchalantly like he in an edit, bro. Mr. Uber Eats himself. Higuma claimed that he killed 56 people on Shanks' level. Just how powerful was this monster? My head's worth 8 million betties. I'm a wanted man. I've killed 56 people, mostly fools like you. And how lucky is Shanks to narrowly avoid such a certain death? Higuma D. Monster recognized the Nepo Haki hat and he knew he had to cut his losses before it got ugly. The glazing is insane. It's crazy how nothing gets past Oda. He remembers everything. He's about 100 times stronger than you boys. We're 100 times stronger. I mean, I know the glazing is usually out of this world, but I thought it was a cool callback when I read it. Wunko going from one of Pirate Folk's most hated characters to one of its most beloved based purely off negging Usopp is so peak. Man, what the flap is this? Where are her pants? LOL, get flapped, Usopp. Stun on these woes, Wunko. Doesn't wear pants, beats the flap out of Usopp as soon as they have the opportunity. Welcome back, Frankie. Y'all remember when Usopp scammed poor people in Wano?
Daddy, come back to life. This medicine will cure you. It's called toad oil.
True pirate behavior. Nah, why is Lucci so tough? This man has two purposes in life: throw hands and look cool. He executes both immaculately. It's really sad that Oda never cooked and created a strong female swordsman opponent for Zoro. Please don't bring up that obese biznatch Big Mom and that Kuina failed clone Tashigi. Honestly, what was Oda smoking when making Tashigi? Swordman confirmed. Godhawk keep winning. That's a swordswoman. Nice try though. This bum, bro. 100 times stronger my cake. Should have left his cake at Water 7. My goat Kizaru dirtied his hand touching this stinky piece of poop. What Luffy really meant to say in this panel. I see that you're as cheeky as ever. Zoro, Sanji, and I are 100 times stronger than we were 2 years ago. The rest of the crew is still a bunch of hockeyless, useless bums. Frankie somehow carried his own weight, unlike almost everyone else in the crew. Nami kinda does fine. Happy birthday to everyone's favorite main character. Meet Handouts Man, aka Monkey D. Lucky. Originally Trash Devil Fruit turns out to be the ultimate god fruit which chose him through destiny. Can't beat a main villain without the help of some BS. Katakuri becoming a Luffy fanboy mid-fight, Kaido not confirming his kills, Doflamingo being stalled for 10 minutes, Kizaru feeding him to help fight Saturn. Preserves through hard work? Nope. Perseveres through determination? Nope. Perseveres through being carried by everyone around him? Yep. Other things handed to him: a grand fleet, good press by Morgans, training by right hand of former Pirate King, Nika powers defended by insufferable Oda fanboys. Give me freedom, give me fire, give me inconsistent character traits or I retire. Freedom is subjective when talking about a slave to destiny. 0 IQ, 0 self-agency, 7 times laughing next to Vegapunk's corpse. Will express 0 interest in the backstory of others unless it's Odin. Gets the 1v1 credit for the 14v1 against Rumor Man. Would probably attack an orphan if they insulted Shanks. Cucumber riding Shanks is our top priority. Nami backstory? I sleep. Odin backstory? Oh flap, this Mary Sue is so amazing! Naru God clears up the sound design controversy. One Piece animator has called for the latest series' entire sound team to be fired over unprofessional work. Hi, I'm a member of the sound team here. We aren't unprofessional, we just didn't want to work with, well, subpar talent. See, he was a Western baka, and well, we prefer to work with animators, not cartoonators. So, well, we told him to quickly sayonara, pack his bags. Narugad is such a level 100 kawaii sussy baka.
What?
Never skip neck day. When you quit the Colombian Bam Bam and start having a good lifestyle. Shanks. See, Luffy, if you inject the steroids directly into your neck, you get more haki twice as fast. Unreal. Glazers will look you straight in the eye and tell you this is Nika foreskinning. Why is Luffy bald? Is this foreshadowing of the Nika cancer Gold D fraud got? That feel when a child is more brave than the Straw Hats. Gabon's little son showed more courage than the Straw Hats. The Straw Hats always act like they just set sail yesterday, panicking over every tiny thing. It's insane. We need Kid back. Gets one tap by Yonko in their first meetup. Broke bum. Put a shirt on, bruh. Gets one tap by Yonko in their first meetup. Strong and independent. Empowering. Kid when defeated. Lost arm, and they drug his crew. Luffy when defeated. Here is a gym and a trainer. Get stronger, quick. Why doesn't Luffy replace Trash Shop with the GOAT? Is he stupid? Let's look at their feats. Mr. 2 saves Straw Hats in Alabasta, takes on a pack of wolves in the freezing cold with nothing but bare hands, stays behind at Impel Down so Luffy can save his brother, funny goated devil fruit that is/would be consistently useful, ripped, as seen in the above image, more loyal than Bumsop will ever be. Stinky Sop uses a children's weapon as his primary fire, has a near weird attachment to a ship, Kaya gonna have to sit in the cook chair, actively nerfs the Straw Hats in almost every arc just by being on the crew, rarely does the one thing he's good at, sniping, extremely unloyal post-time skip, spent 2 years on an island getting fat while the rest of his crew was training for the new world. Bro did nothing but come back with a few souvenirs. Now remind me why Luffy didn't go back to save Mr. 2 after his 2 years of training. Mr. 2 is 1,000 times more useful than Skunk Sop will ever be. Wanwale is everybody's GOAT. Anyone else not understand the obsession with this character? I've been staring at this all day. I still don't get it. Basic design, boring power, mildly annoying personality. I was wondering that too until I saw this. Oda Glazers refuse to admit it's a battle shonen. One Piece fights are pretty bad. It's not a battle shonen, it's about the story and the adventure. They fight in every arc. There's a fighting system and they get power-ups. How is it not a battle shonen? It's not a battle shonen, bro! My question to them is, when two people disagree in One Piece, how do they settle it? They fight. Therefore, fighting over politics, world building, whatever else you want to say One Piece is. Is Usopp really supposed to be black? As Toei is really on the warpath of completely erasing this bum's melanin, how the flap is Kizaru more tan? I'm starting to have my doubts on if Oda ever actually wanted him to be black. I know he said that he'd be from Africa in the real world from the SBS, but considering the fact that he just said flapping Africa instead of a specific country like every other Straw Hat, then I wouldn't be surprised if he hit some wild mental gymnastics and went, I meant South African with full white background, just to avoid having a hint of darkness on a Straw Hat's skin.
What?
No, he's not. Literally just look at his parents. Any other anime where losing doesn't matter? Genuinely curious, is there any other anime where characters can lose back-to-back fights without any consequences? I mean, yeah, the fights are cool, but you can lose as much as you want, and then the fights don't have any weight. Fairy Tail was so overwhelmingly safe as a series that a character that was dead turned out to be alive the whole time. Like a -1 death count is insane to me. I can't stand the new animation.
What?
New animation haters when they are forced to watch the old episodes. I don't get the I can't stand it, but many times it is a bad adaptation. Characters flying everywhere, Dragon Ball auras and laser beams. I'm okay with it, and of course it looks jaw-dropping, but in my opinion, the peak in One Piece animation was the last episode of Katakuri's fight. I'm rewatching One Piece and found this gem. Even a bunch of low-ranking Marines know how to use Haki, and half of the Straw Hats don't. Why you do this, Oda? Genuinely insane that Robin stayed with the Revolutionary Army for 2 whole flapping years, and she never learned basic flapping Bosu Haki. Yonko crew my flapping behind, bro. Neg diffed by Wonko. They were not ready for her. My brain is physically melting. You have no idea how insanely hard Oda's style is. Murata's style is way easier. You can tell they're right because anyone can tell that's not an Oda drawing, but nobody in the comments could tell that was not Murata. For some context, the original person tweeting the post drew both of the drawings, and that's why they're saying One Punch Man art style is easier than One Piece art style. For y'all Usopp haters, Captain, Swordsman, Cook/Chef, Sniper, Gunman, Inventor, Chemist, Carpenter, Artist, Painter, Tactician, Deceiver, Con Artist, Comedian, Storyteller, Barber, Gardener, Former Helmsman, Lookout, Masked Hero, Kai's Lover, and original owner of Going Merry. This is all pre-timeskip Usopp used to do. Post-timeskip Usopp is a bum, that's all.